The 1990-91 season saw Wofford continue to establish itself as one of the premier small college athletic programs in the nation. Overall, Terrier athletic teams combined to post a one-loss record of 119, 74, and one tie, while 4 sports earned national rankings. The success of Wofford and its student athletes is measured not just in competition, but in the classroom as well. Last year, 66 student athletes were included on the Dean's List, and 3 graduated Phi Beta Kappa. In addition, 3 student athletes have been named Phi Beta Kappa this year. What makes Wofford so special is the challenge it provides both academically and athletically. 1990-91 certainly can be remembered as the year of the Terrier. The men's tennis team had a banner season in 1991, posting a 16-9 record under head coach Dr. Ben Varn. With no seniors playing singles, it was a young Terrier squad that recorded 7 victories over Division I opponents, including in that total were wins over the Citadel, UT Chattanooga, Western Carolina, and Eastern Michigan. Dave Garner, the first recipient of the Richardson Family Scholarship, cemented his position as the top singles player with a number 18 ranking in the South region. Also a Dean's List student, Garner defeated 5 Division I opponents as he remains hopeful of qualifying for an invitation to the NCAA championships. Boosted by a season-closing 5-4 win over USC Spartanburg, the women's tennis team closed its most successful year ever with a 13-3 record. Under head coach Dr. Dino Tracus, the Terrier season was highlighted by a 5-4 victory on March 23rd over West Georgia, a school that entered the match ranked number 6 in the country. Meredith Swittenberg posted a 12-1 singles record in earning her 4th letter. She will also graduate Phi Beta Kappa this spring. After making school history last spring as the first athletic team at Wofford to compete in NCAA championship play, the Terrier golf team is hopeful of once again receiving a bid to compete with the nation's finest. Ranked 11th in the country, Wofford won the Greensboro College Invitational in March, with Jason Smoke taking medalist honors. The Terriers also tied for 4th at the Penn State Intercollegiate. Once again, Smoke led the way by placing in a tie for 2nd. The Terriers also hosted the 4th annual Wofford Invitational, which is fast becoming one of the nation's premier tournaments with a field that included 4 ACC and 4 Big Ten schools. Strong competition is nothing new for head coach Dan O'Connell's squad. 68% of Wofford's opponents this year were on the Division I level. There was a lot of fun in the 1991 Wofford baseball season as the Terriers set a school record for victories in posting a 30-9 mark, which included a 12-game winning streak to close out the year and leave Wofford hopeful of an NCAA playoff bid. Among the 30 victories were a 5-1 win at Division I playoff team Furman and triumphs over several nationally ranked Division II squads. It was a season that saw Lee Amick be named the National Player of the Week from Collegiate Baseball Magazine after he slugged 4 home runs in 4 at-bats in just 4 innings of action in a 17-7 win over Allen. He would also finish the season leading the country in home runs. Wofford was also paced by an outstanding senior class. First baseman Sean Rogers hit .412 while also playing some great defense. Sean Kirkland made the smooth transition to second base and had his best season at the plate with a .427 average and 12 home runs. Chad McClain became Wofford's all-time leader in victories, complete games, and innings pitched, while Jared Hubbard closed his career as the school's career home run and RBI leader. And catcher Jack Bryant added several key base hits and made a habit out of gunning down opposing base stealers. It was a very young Lady Terrier basketball team that took the court for the 1990-91 season. Wofford started 2 freshmen, 2 sophomores, and 1 senior. And although the record was 11-14, there were no shortage of highlights. There was a thrilling 91-85 overtime win over Longwood as senior Melissa Shook sank 2 foul shots with 1 second left in regulation to tie the game and force an extra period. The Lady Terriers' only other senior was Beth Martin. She provided the needed experience and leadership on the floor while grabbing a career-best 16 rebounds in a late-season win over Morris Brown. Freshman Brenda Jackson made her college debut with 30 points and 13 rebounds in the opener against Alabama Huntsville, and she led the team with a 15.6 scoring average and a 9.0 rebounding mark. Richardson Scholarship recipient Cindy Vineyard was second in both categories with 12.7 and 5.8 marks. The future indeed looks bright as Libby Corey, the State Player of the Year at Blacksburg High School, has signed a letter of intent to play for Wofford next season. In what was billed as a rebuilding year by many, the men's basketball team at Wofford proved the critics wrong by posting its 6th winning season in the last 7 years while playing for the final time on the tartan surface. The Terriers will take the court next season on a brand new state-of-the-art parquet floor. Wofford's 16-12 record included its second victory in 3 years over Division I Davidson and a win over nationally ranked Rollins. The Terriers also put together a 6-game winning streak in the middle of the campaign, capped off by a thrilling win at Benjamin Johnson Arena over Presbyterian. After being sidelined for most of last season, Greg Odell returned in strong fashion as he climbed to the number 6 position on the school's all-time scoring list. Odell was not the only comeback story for the Terriers. After missing his freshman year because of back surgery, Sidney Thomas averaged double figures in scoring and was named a captain in his first season. Jerome Hall was second of the team in scoring with over 13 points a game and also shot 60% from the field. And how about Brad Painter, who set a single-season record by hitting 87% of his foul shots, including the last 25 in a row to end the season. There was plenty of kick in the Wofford soccer team during the 1990 season. The Terriers tied a school record for wins with a 10-6-1 mark. After opening up with 4 straight victories, head coach John Blair's squad earned its first ever top 20 ranking. The success on the field was also matched in the classroom, with 13 of the 24 team members making the Dean's List. Highlights during the year included a 3-1 win over UNC Asheville and some strong play from a senior-oriented team. Stephen Shaughnessy led the team with 8 goals and 22 points. Pat Britt, Denver Merrill, and Dan Murphy were also named to the All-South Region team. And goalkeeper Jonathan Crumley graduates Phi Beta Kappa this year after tying a single-season school mark by posting 6 shutouts. The Wofford volleyball team has set the stage for future success. The Lady Terriers were once again led by team captain Catherine Smith, who was selected to 3 all-tournament teams. Wofford also put together a 5-game winning streak in the middle of the year with exciting wins over USCS, West Georgia, and Eckerd. The blend of experience with seniors Smith, Beth Martin, and Catherine Kuhn, combined with freshman standouts Jennifer Nodine and Cindy Vineyard, provided the firepower in 1990. Under first-year head coach Pat Phillips, the Terrier cross-country program enjoyed its finest year. The men captured team titles at the Erskine and Belmont Abbey Invitationals, while the women's team represented itself well by earning 4 second-place finishes in 6 meets. The Wofford Terriers began 1990 just as they ended 1989, by winning. The Terriers traveled to Greensboro, North Carolina to face the Elon Fighting Christians. Sophomore quarterback Sean Graves got the season off to a marvelous start, rushing for 184 yards on only 20 carries. But Graves got plenty of support. Freddie Brown added 89 yards from his fullback position, while Keith Green scored 2 touchdowns. Wofford's defense was also outstanding, as Cornelius Riley and Wendell Jones had interceptions. Wofford wins Game 1, 26-7, the first season-opening victory since 1985. One downer from the opening win was an injury to Graves. A pulled muscle would sideline him for game number 2, but Jay Hampton came off the bench to do a superb job in relief. Kentucky State was soon overwhelmed. The Terriers led 31-0 at halftime, the first clue that this season was going to be something special. Hampton opened the scoring with a 22-yard touchdown pass to Aaron Allen. Keith Green added another score before Wofford racked up another win, 38-21. Sean Graves made his return a memorable one in Game 3 before the home folks against another old foe, Lenore Ryan. Graves back in the lineup, but that might be the understatement of the year. Graves ran wild in this game, galloping for 323 yards and scoring 5 touchdowns on only 23 carries. Wofford blitzed the Bears in this one, and Graves' performance earned him notice from ESPN and several major newspapers. He smashed the school's rushing and total offense records. It was truly a win worth celebrating. The Terriers hit the road for game number 4, traveling up I-85 to face Catawba. It was one of the terrific defensive battles of the season. The Terriers taking a 14-12 lead into the half and then holding on to win in a scoreless second-half battle. Now, the key to this one was defense, a defense that recorded 9 sacks and held Catawba to only minus 17 yards rushing. That's right, minus 17 yards. Aaron Allen also added 93 yards on offense, and this key play to stop a two-point conversion preserved Wofford's 14-12 victory. The Terriers broke another streak in Week 5, snapping a 6-game losing skid to Presbyterian. Keith Green may have played his best game of the season as he collected 97 yards rushing on only 8 carries. Sean Graves added 68 yards, including this 32-yard romp. Once again, the Terriers built a huge halftime lead, 35-6, before they settled for a 41-15 victory. The Terrier defense added 8 more sacks to their total. Game 6 would turn out to be one of the great challenges of 1990 as the Terriers were on the road playing West Georgia in what turned out to be a true nail-biter. This was truly a game of big plays. Wofford built up a sizable lead only to watch the Braves come storming back. Facing a 4th and 6, Aaron Allen completed a halfback pass for a key first down. And then Keith Green plunged over for what would turn out to be the game-winning touchdown. But the Terriers weren't out of the woods yet. With just seconds remaining, the Braves drove down the field and were in position for a 27-yard field goal attempt. But fate would intervene here as Travis Yates broke through the defense, blocked the kick, and preserved a 27-25 victory over West Georgia. Well, after an emotional win like that, it's hard to keep the level of play on a high plane. But the Terriers did manage to do it against Newberry, at least in the first half. Sean Graves ran for 150 yards and 3 touchdowns against Newberry, and at halftime, it was 33-7. With everyone getting to play in this one, Newberry did rally to make a game of it before Wofford went on to post a 39-33 victory. Big wins means big news. And ESPN, the All Sports Network, took notice of the Wofford Terriers on their game day segment profiling quarterback Sean Graves. And although reporter Chris Fowler mispronounced Wofford's name, the message was clear. The Terriers are national news.
Quarterback Sean Graves and the Wofford Terriers face Catawba today. Graves will try to improve in his 0-for-1 passing of last week, but it'll be hard to top the incredible 323 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns that he rolled up against Lenore Ryan.
The second half of the season had its ups and downs as Wofford's undefeated streak came to an end with losses to Jacksonville State and the Citadel. But a great game at Johnson City almost made up for it. It was a titanic struggle waged indoors with all kinds of underlying themes. A former coach returning with his underdog team and a quarterback determined to show his stuff against the big boys of the Southern Conference. Well, Sean Graves did more than show his stuff. He threw for a touchdown and ran like the wind. 149 yards on only 9 carries. And then the unthinkable. Graves tumbling on an option run and falling on his arm. Understudy Jay Hampton was pressed into duty, and although he doesn't possess the same flair or speed of Graves, he did the job. And the least surprised man in the place was Sean Graves.
Jay, every time we go on a trip, Jay and I, we room together, we get chewed out together, we do everything together. And, you know, it's just good to see Jay, because, you know, Jay, he works hard, you know. Everybody can see what I do, but Jay works hard, you know. I'm happy for him.
There was pressure in this game, but, I mean, it was a bigger game for us. And, but, you know, it was the same thing I had to do like I did against Kentucky State. But, you know, I played better this game and because I had to.
When the final score came into focus, it would top 50 points. Make that 64, in fact. The second most points since 1949 for a Wofford Terrier team. The final margin made a statement for all that would listen. The Wofford Terriers are for real. And with or without Sean Graves, they belong in the Division II playoffs.
It was 11 Saturdays ago that we began the NCAA Division II football quest for the title. And in these next 4 weeks, the following 16 teams will be in the championship playoff. If you're keeping a chart, this will be the exact order from top to bottom. At Clinton, Mississippi next Saturday, Mississippi College, will play Wofford. Mississippi College is 9-1, Wofford is 9-2, and Mississippi College is the Gulf South champion.
After participating in its first ever Division II playoff game, the Terriers went looking for postseason honors. Mike Ayers was selected the Region Coach of the Year, and David Wiley made several All-American teams. There were more football awards to talk about later in the year, as Sean Graves was named the Amateur Athlete of the Year in the state of South Carolina by the South Carolina Hall of Fame. Tom Coulter was also named a second-team All-American by the National Football Gazette, while Chuck Mazingo, Travis Yates, and Graves all earned third-team honors.